Hey guys, welcome to another Monumenta video. Today we're going to be talking about the latest update, which I won't be talking about updates much, but since this one is quite massive for Monumenta, and it has a controversial update, I thought it would be important to talk about it. So anyway, we're going to switch into Discord to go over the changelog briefly, and then talk more about the graves. So anyway, let's get on to this. So obviously it's the 1.18 upgrade, that is what it's listed as, but as we all know, it's mainly the grave rework, that's the full thing. So the 1.18 upgrade is mostly, you know, extra block variety. Several POIs got changed a bit with blocks, not like design-wise. And obviously there are new entities which could be possibly into R3, which is lovely. More mobs equals interesting things. But here's the main thing we're going to talk about, the Death and Grave and Shattering rework. So, the Shattered effect on weapons no longer disables the item. So, this is mostly for early game players. It's not meant for, like, late game players. I mean, why this change was made, obviously. It was also for parity with other MMOs such as Skyblock and Windcraft, where they all have keep inventory when you die. Obviously, with Skyblock and Windcraft, as long as you don't have any booster cookie, you do lose like your currency, which is something that doesn't happen here. You just die. However, you do lose currency in the term of... We'll check that out soon. But anyway, Shattering now is a stacking debuff that reduces damage, increases vulnerability. You're going to be dealing less damage each time you attack and taking more damage each time that you get hit. And this applies on all your armor and your offhand. It does not affect anything on main hand unless it has Curse of Vanishing. Honestly, I wish it did affect main hand a bit, because it would be a bit more punishing that way. And we'll get into why it's kind of easy now later. So there's only one grave. If obviously it didn't like grave. If you throw like something in lava, it'll grave up. But for the most part, you only have one grave. And that reduces one level of shattering. So basically what happens is when you die, you get a level of shattering. When you die, you get a level of shattering. Death to the Void applies 3, Death to Lava applies 2, and all other deaths apply 1. Anvils cost 8, and repair shattering now as well. So, and hope reduces. This means as long as you collect a grave, you're only going to have shattering 2 on all your equipment no matter what, even if you die after dying to the Void, which basically means 80 CXP, which is quite cheap, honestly. That's only a few POI runs for about like an hour, or even less if you get lucky. And all your equipment sealed. Again, I feel like the main reason why they made this was to have parity with MMOs, and obviously for early game players. It's controversial because this, and also this is not that punishing for late game players as was intended. Now, if you actually play as intended and repair your gear, yes, this is more damaging compared to what it was previously, as long as you don't die again. But it's still not that punishing if you just never heal your equipment. And we'll get into an example that someone gave us. Well, they didn't give us, they just put in the feedback channel. So, they also added anti-AFK for loot scaling, that's important too. They also reduced XP for strikes. Just scroll here a bit. Reduce XP for strikes. I'll go down to the bottom because it just shows. You lose 50 XP on regular EC and DD, you still keep it for endless mode for both of these, so don't you worry if you do those. And with this word, it stacks, meaning, yeah, it explains it here. But anyway, let's quickly go to the next part about the feedback that the community has given, possible solutions as well. Actually, never mind. We're gonna showcase the shattering. So anyway, to demonstrate this, we're gonna purposely die with our gear. This might take a bit of time. As you can see, we get all our stuff still. And it says, you died and left a grave. Return it to repair your items. Instead of what it would normally say, which was to collect your items. And each of our stuff now has shattered. Except for everything in our inventory. We still have every currency and all the likes. So let us quickly go ahead, collect our grave, and repair the shattering, along with showing you the hopefully increased damage by a decent margin. Or else this isn't a very punishing system. So we still have like our Sky Feller and everything, which means theoretically you could just run and break every single spawner. Doesn't matter how many times you die. Shattering free, who cares? You'll make enough money at the end in a dungeon. That's exactly what one guy did. We'll see that in the Discord later. The Discord, oh god. Spawn. Or not. I'm breaking the spawner. Oh, the punishments. But anyway, let's move over here. This guy does decent damage. And that's 1/4 of my health gone in a second. Okay, let's unshatter our gear. And we're roughly... we did not lose 1/4 of our health that time. So, as you can see, we do take increased damage. We are also supposed to deal less damage, but I don't really see that. This is just POI, it's hard to see that when you 1-tap or 3-tap enemies. So anyway, let's go back to Discord and explain people's feedbacks. Okay, so this is one of the major issues that I recently saw. It's in the main feedback by a moderator. I have watched someone equip a speed set and run through a dungeon to just break spawners. His armor is shattered level 3 and has no durability, but he keeps going. Twisteds are spawning left and right, but all he needs is Deathloop to 6 times and they're all gone. This is further enhanced by the use of bed/sign tesseract to increase brain dead gameplay. In my opinion, this is not okay. It's not there are no permanent consequences. There are just barely consequences to death at all. Sure, you have no levels, but you can still get chest loot all capped. The spawners break without any visible effort in the game other than patience and willingness to die repeatedly. Please help. I am just watching this man. The man parkour through the lava section with 4 twisted after him just because he can. So, since there's keep inventory and your pickaxe doesn't slow down or anything, it's just... you can just run through everything, easily break all the spawners, and go through. That's basically what this is saying over here. Yeah, this is definitely not okay, because it's at least a bit punishing when you die if you have to walk back 15 times, and it's a pain, sure. But it's at least something that punishes you if you just regular die. Along with that, you can't just run past all the spawners. But anyway, here's what someone is saying for, like, item effectiveness. So basically what the Zyron was saying earlier, he's saying like, in order to stop people from breaking these spawners just randomly. So basically, it's just shattered regularly. Just like a shattered pick would. So you can't have shattered 3. In my opinion, this probably won't get implemented too much, because the whole reason why this new system was adapted was to get rid of this whole shattered thing. But then again, if it's popular enough, it probably will. This, again, was mainly for early players so they don't quit and wipe due to the lava. Yeah. So basically, for suggestion voting, just because of level 3, really. But probably like the speed of your pickaxe should be reduced, mining speed, if that's possible. Or like, I don't know, but running through spawners and mining them just is not a good way. Let's go off of what other people said. I remember seeing someone talking about multiplayer. I don't really play multiplayer. Okay, I think it's this one. It's Noah. Okay. So, yep, which were previously very shift back to albeit less intense. You see, before this update, all you had to do was just run to where you died, collect all your stuff, and everything would be fine. No punishment, really. This is at least some punishment, but again, it's, it also adds a keep inventory, which makes it not punishing. Yeah. Yes, this is the main reason why this thing was implemented. Full shatters usually, you can't use any of your stuff, people would quit, that's stupid. And cooperative play, yes, so here we are. I don't play any multiplayer, so I never really thought of this. And when I saw this, I thought I should probably put this in the video. So, before this, I didn't know that it would not affect shattering at all. So apparently now the only way for your teammates to really help is to clear mobs, just like in vanilla Minecraft. Because players can't, I don't like that you can just get dual share from a stray mob left behind. Yeah, I guess you could like escort them from the start of the dungeon. Oh, you can't use recoil. True. Now the only way is like skills, like to go away from lava and void. Albeit lava is a bit easier to get rid of anyway. Now with this update, the void is a lot more dangerous. Oh yeah. So since it doesn't work on main hand or inventory, it's just hope isn't really useful. So this is my thing that I really wanted to show here. Donor's Grave. This is actually, yeah, I like this. Maybe Shattered 2, unless they have hope on their item. Just if it's like in the void, and it just gets reduced by 1 extra, except for 1, obviously. Let's see. Perhaps normal dungeons could continue to use this system, but delves have increased shatter levels to increase risk proportionally for endgame content versus new players trying their hardest in base dungeons. So, yeah, this is another idea that might work a bit. Hardcore grade modifiers. So, basically, probably the shatter level would increase in these specific dungeons to help punish delve players a bit more, since that's what delve players want. They want slightly more difficult gameplay while also grinding for something. Another idea was about grave tiers. Like, there's multiple graves. It's similar to how Shattering worked before, where it was extremely expensive the better gear you have, but it's not, since it's no longer full inventory, right? For new players, it's cheaper. So yeah, now it's just easier for players to death run again. Anyway, I think I think we're almost done here. Let's just look around a bit more. I think that was all the interesting things. Yeah, just there are several solutions. Increasing anvil prices, tiered anvils, changing the death system a bit by affecting main hands and either shattering them or just decreasing efficiency, such as pickaxe, mining speed, or other stuff, to make sure you don't clear the dungeon without collecting your grave. I thought of an idea that's... I don't know if this would work at all, but like having miner fatigue until you get your grave. That way you can't just clear... Just miner fatigue once, so you can at least mine something if you really need to, but not enough where you can clear all dungeon without caring about your shatter level. And this probably would only affect dungeons, as that's really the only place that should affect. But anyway, that's all my ideas. That's all I have to talk about for Monumenta. Leave what we should do in both the Discord and in the comment section, because it's really important that this feedback gets given, as this will help the Monumenta team understand what to do next. Anyway, have a good day. See you peoples later.